Get to it. It's time for
Love letters. Love letters to Kellie.
Dear Kellie, you are the love expert.
I am.
Brittany wrote us and said, when my daughter was 4 months old, my ex came home and told me he had been cheating on me and wanted me to move out. So my daughter and I moved out and had to live with my parents for a little while. He moved the girl he was cheating on me with. Flash forward, now they're married, and it's been 8 years. And Kellie, I still can't get over what they both did. I cannot stand his wife, and I have no respect for her due to the fact that she knew he had a family at home, and she still chose to mess with him. I know he was at fault too, but I more so blame her. Kellie, please help me move on and hopefully enjoy my life again. Brittany.
Well, Brittany, here's the thing. If you don't let it go, it's only eating you
Gonna eat her
inside.
away,
They're
yeah.
living their happy little life, and you are seething, and this is rotting your gut and your spirit and making you feel dark. And that's no way to live.
You're living with hate in your
yeah, and
heart.
it's destroying you. And this is the thing. They don't care. They're doing what they want to do, and you're still suffering for 8 years. So it's not so much as forgiving them for what they've done, but you've got to learn how to move on from it. And you know, I've had to get over some things in my past relationships, and I was angry for a while, not 8 years. But you just have to it's just about making a conscious decision. You have to just, maybe you need to go get some therapy if you can't do this on your own. But it starts with speaking words of not necessarily kindness, but just of politeness.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me. I had to stop biting and snapping every time this person entered the room and just kind of through gritted teeth, how are you doing? Even if I did not care. And eventually the conversations became pleasant and friendly, and then everything's fine.
You choose happy, and eventually
Right.
you start
Choose
feeling
joy.
You cannot change what's happened, but you can.
Right. That's true.
But you're letting this destroy you. That's what you have to finally accept. Is like they're living their merry life. Me hating her and him isn't hurting them at all.
And
So it's a matter of just you cannot give in to those feelings. I'm not going to say they're going to magically dissipate, but you can do some proactive things, and you might realize, maybe you and she have some common ground. There's something you maybe have in common, and she did a very, very bad thing, but maybe she's likable. I mean, there's got to be something. Maybe there's some redeeming
and her
thing
daughter,
you can hang on to.
her daughter's now about 8 years
and
old.
going back and forth, and you don't think she's not picking up on that?
I agree with everything you said, but I will say that forgiveness, it's hard.
It
It's
is.
so hard. but
Especially
You
how
don't forget-
awful
but-
how awful that is.
But it's
you
not
don't have to
necessarily for
forget
the other person, it's
don't
for
have to
you.
forget.
Yeah, oh,
It's
yeah.
for you because it'll eat you up.
Yes.
And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who
That's
trespass.
very-
Yeah, I know, but it's
That's a very religious thing to do, but like we see people forgive murderers who murder their children.
Yeah.
It's not about forgiving the murder. It's because if I don't forgive you and let this go, I
it'll eat you
cannot
up.
live.
It'll tear you
But
up.
doesn't she deserve some justice for the wrongs?
It's too.
Justice.
You know what? Life's not fair,
She didn't
Trey.
get
Life's not
anything.
fair.
It's
And
this-
what does she get? What would be the right justice? What's going to make it right? Nothing.
I'm saying I understand how
Yeah.
she's feeling, and she does deserve a little bit of justice and something good to happen to her instead of
She can't
living a
have
great
that though
life.
until
She's
she lets
blocked.
it go.
She's
yeah.
blocked. She's blocking good things.
It's
You know what I'm
ridiculous
saying?
that this man kicked the woman he
That's
was with and created a
ridiculous.
baby
It's
and a
bad.
baby out. It's
It's
bad.
horrible.
But it's been 8 years now.
It's been 8 years.
You got this.
Don't let the awful thing that he did turn your life awful.
Right.
There it is.
So figure out a way. And if you cannot do it on your own, go to therapy. Figure out maybe where you have longer. We've taken too much time on this letter, but good luck.
You got this, Brittany. Sorry you went through this.
Love letters. Love letters to Kellie. Dear Kellie, you're the love expert.
I am.
I've been married for going on 5 years to a good man, and we have 3 kids, ages 6, 3, and 18 months. We are exhausted with no family around to help. We both work full time. Here is my issue. I've been an avid traveler my whole life and lived all over the U.S. Before I got married, I traveled fairly regularly to see friends, go camping, or new experiences. My husband went on a few trips with me, but then we got pregnant and we slowed down. Fast forward to now, and our constant struggle is over me wanting to travel and take trips with or without the kids. And I took the kids last year by myself to the beach. He says he has no interest to travel. Do you have any advice on this situation? I want to take a 2-night trip this summer, and I want him to go. I don't mind traveling alone, but it would be nice if he would come. He says he's tired and burnt out, and it's not worth it when the kids are this young. However, I disagree. Do you have any advice? CP?
No, just here's my advice. Don't make anybody... Trust me, I've been the person who did not want to go do something, and then I've been forced to go, and everybody regrets making me go. Right?
Shout out.
You don't want to force somebody to be somewhere or do something they don't want to do, because it just ruins the whole thing. You've got this fantasy in your head of what this 2-day vacation is going to be for your husband, that he's going to suddenly wake up and realize, oh my gosh, I am a traveler. I didn't know it. Thank you for waking this up inside of me. You just happen to marry somebody that doesn't share that same passion. So if you're good with it and you have a good time with the kids, grab a friend. If you need help, a lot of times it's about, you've got 3 kids, you need help. Grab a friend that, a girls' trip with the kids. Maybe they have a couple kids. You can start like a tradition that way where the moms take off with the kids. But I would stop forcing an issue when he's just flat out, to what end? Right. You can keep harboring resentment about it, or you can just keep having fun, traveling, and maybe one day he's going to be like, when you come home glowing and the kids are happy and making memories, he'll maybe start feeling guilty, like, man, she's building all these memories with the kids and I'm not building any. But my thing is, don't let it steal your joy. I wish he would want to go with you, and you can maybe present that. It's like, try that approach. I'm creating all these memories with the kids, and they're not going to have any of these with you. So maybe that'll get at his heartstrings. But if he truly does not want to go, and he's going to make the weekend a miserable time, that's money wasted.
Yeah.
So, there's that. But you could start new traditions, like I said, with a friend.
Mommy trips.
And maybe if the husband's like, I can't keep all 3 kids by myself, you've got a network of family and friends. You can make it work. There's other ways, but y'all two just don't agree on this thing. And it's a big thing for you, not a big thing for him. Is it worth, I'm going to divorce you if you don't go on a vacation with me for 2 days out of the year? No. But if all you can do is control the way you handle the situation. I can't give you any magic advice to make him agree to go.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Love letters. Love letters to Kellie.
Dear Kellie, you are the love expert.
I am.
In a nutshell, I've been rebuilding my life and career after consequences of past mistakes caught up with me. A serious relationship, while always open to the possibility at some point, has not been my focus. But recently, a mutual friend of my best friend / roommate expressed his mutual interest in me, and I'm very excited about this flirtation. This friend was introduced to me as a coworker by my roommate and nothing more than friends, and they did consider it. I didn't think anything else of it, as these are the 2 of my closest trusted friends. And while having fun, hour upon hour of conversations of getting to know each other, he wants to be transparent about things that could be issues. Coworkers that he's fooled around with at some point. I knew most of it, but it's all in the past now. Until my roommate showed up on this list as essentially third base relations. Needless to say, I'm shocked that I'm just now hearing this. The event itself is negligible, as it was before we met and of no consequence. The language in this letter is impressive.
Yeah.
You're a smart person.
Yeah.
You're smart.
So then why is this person that I consider my sister omitting this information? I'm trying to understand the motive behind this and not overturn the end of this relationship. Kellie, please help me with some perspective.
Well, it all happened before you. I don't get this whole, we got to come clean with everybody we've ever been with, done, looked at, kissed. What
that causes resentment and hurt.
Look what's come of it.
Yeah.
Now you feel like you can't even trust your roommate. Mm-hmm. Have you said anything to her? Just say, hey, look, if I don't say something, it's going to bother me. Why didn't you tell me you ever hooked up with Chad or whatever his name is?
Chad.
There's always a
Chad.
Chad.
Oh.
Why didn't you tell me?
And Brett.
Explain to me what happened, maybe, because I know, as unreasonable as it sounds, I'm having issues with it, and I need to get past it. Because are you going to really, and stop with this full disclosure crap? That's that's baloney.
Especially about
because I
Chad.
can't say what I want to say. There's no good can come of that unless there's a risk of something like this big secret that if your lover or husband or wife one day finds out, that it could potentially destroy your relationship. Relationship destroying secrets probably need to be shared up front.
Yeah.
Like if the guy's hanging out all the time and it could pop out.
Well, right. If there's like a person that might be dangerous,
if you have, maybe you were in jail for a while and you need to come clean about that.
Right.
And maybe I have an issue with dating. depending on what they were jailed for.
Yeah.
And or somebody maybe had an addiction issue. And it's like, you really need to know if somebody is like an addict, that there is a possibility years down the road, do I love you enough that if you have a relapse, would I be there? People need, those are big things.
Right.
But who you hooked up with before you even met somebody, I get it, but it's a roommate situation. So go to the roommate, say, I need to talk this out with you because it's bothering me. Or are you going to let this ruin what you could potentially have? Right?
Yeah.
But stop with the full disclosure. That's ridiculous.
Love letters. Love letters to Kellie.
Join us at this time tomorrow when we go through our lists.
What, a previous hookup?
Yeah. Dear Kellie,
You mean within the office or outside the office?
Both, if you want.
Oh. Dear Kellie, you are the love expert.
I am.
I am at my wit's end. I am married to a man that doesn't seem to know how to express his frustrations and problems to his wife. Instead, he chooses to he closes up and ignores me for days and or stops talking to me. It can be anything from being stressed at work to something I did and said that he didn't like. I always pay for his mood swings. I'm always the one trying to fix the situation, and sometimes it seems like I'm begging for love and attention when he's going through his mood swings. After being together for 15 years and 3 years married, I am no longer willing to keep with it. I've communicated this to him several times, but nothing changes, and counseling is a no for him. Is asking for a divorce too extreme? I don't know how I could restart my life alone with 3 kids, but I don't know what else to do. Thank you.
Together 15 years, married for 3. You're going to tell me that miraculously, after you said I do, he started acting this way. You knew this about him and you married him anyway. This is the thing. It's like when you were with him for 12 years, you had 12 years leading up to this, and you married him anyway. And now it's a problem because, but what do? You've got kids now involved, and you're going to break up a family. This is terrible. It's a terrible way to live. I personally would not live the rest of my life like that. And maybe instead of filing for divorce, you go tell him, look, if we do not address the situation, I am 1 foot out the door heading to get a divorce attorney, because we need to figure this out, and give him a chance to maybe go to therapy with you, counseling. Even if he says no, a lot of time when people pushed up against the wall and realize I'm at risk of losing everything, when it finally becomes like real, then they'll do something about it.
You can't go to counseling by yourself.
You can go to therapy by yourself. Yeah. But I personally wouldn't live with someone who is emotionally abusive to you, not communicating for days on end for the slightest infraction. That's ridiculous. But ladies, if you're with somebody and they show you who you are before you marry them, and you marry them anyway, I mean, you got to bear some of the responsibility on that.
Don't be shocked, yeah.
And figure it out, but good luck.